Think I might have to put a little overtime in on this one.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Suddenly you kissed my wife. Baby, my heart's on fire.
We review the 2016 release of the 6-inch classic Ghostbusters Ray Stantz figures by Mattel. See? They haven't been eaten by Hasbro just yet. The release of these figures coincides with the pending release of the new Ghostbusters movie with their all-female cast. These are by no means the only plastic representations of the Ghostbusters, but other figures are usually only available in specialty stores or from online retailers. These 2016 figures are available on the shelf from retail stores to the general public. This is the classic team member Ray Stantz, the naive factoid spewing member who bankrolled the original Ghostbusters team by mortgaging his parents' house. My minions inform me the new movie female versions of these figures were untouched on the shelf where they saw them, and that the classic team figures were nearly sold out. Make of that what you will, folks. The box shows off the figure fairly well. On the back you can see other available figures, and the build-a-figure set that you can make if you buy all 4 of the classic figures. So Mattel is already showing signs of being taken over by Hasbro by duplicating the build-a-figure gimmick. In this case, all 4 pieces will let you make the No Ghost logo. They originally printed No Ghosts logo on the box, but for whatever reason they changed their minds and have put stickers over it reading No Ghost logo. Yeah, big difference there. We certainly wouldn't want people to get confused now, would we? Anywho, let us unbox the Ray Stantz figure and review him properly. Out of box, the Ray Stantz figure looks quite good. The molding is very movie accurate, with a proper flight suit instead of the silly exterminator jumpsuits they had later on. All of the details are in place with the chest patch, the belt, and even the tubing and modified key fobs. The boots and gloves are in place, and so are the elbow pads, though the knee pads have been left off for obvious reasons of articulation. The painting is done very neatly with no spillage or running to be readily detected. Even the Ghostbusters logo on the arm looks very clean. They applied some painting to the sculpted detail, including some silver paint for the zippers and the wiring on the proton pack, though there are sections that could have been painted but weren't. That leaves it open for steady-handed kit bashers to finish the job on their own. The proton pack is actually molded as a separate piece with removable straps that you can slide around the arms. If you are patient and careful. Those who are concerned about damaging their figures, however, will leave the pack on. I mean, why would you want to remove the coolest accessory anyway? Owners should take caution with the plastic hose when bending or posing, since it seems vulnerable to snapping or breakage. The face on the figure is not as gormless as I have seen on some others, and is a passable simulacrum of Dan Aykroyd's face circa 1984. Though it is not a perfect duplication, the plastic simply doesn't allow for realistic skin texture or detailing, but all in all it is an excellent replication of the 1980s movie character. The neutrino wand can be held by the figure using both hands, or removed and pegged into the proton pack, depending on how you wish to display your figure, either preparing for action or ready for action. When plugging in the neutrino wand to the proton pack, Be sure to tilt it slightly, since that is the way the peg holes are molded. The Stantz figure has a ball-socketed head which will rotate 360 degrees, but due to interference from the plastic shirt collars, it will only nod very slightly up and down. The arms are also ball-socketed and hinged at the shoulders. They will do a full rotation. The hinges are extremely stiff, however, and allow only a limited amount of motion in and out. The bend for the elbow is at the forearm section as opposed to the upper arm due to the sculpted elbow pads. The elbow pads prevent much more than a 30-degree tilt for the arm. Thankfully, they included a rotational joint so that you can get more posability out of the elbow tilt. The wrists will also do a full rotation and tilt slightly on a pair of delicate hinges. Don't be too rough with them, folks. The figure has no upper torso bending, but it will rotate 360 degrees at the waist. However, with the molded tubing, wiring, and belt pouches, you will be at risk of damage or tearing if you twist the figure too much. You are advised to limit any waist rotation once you note any blocking or resistance from the molded detailing. The hips have a clever pair of dual hinges which seem better to me than the ball sockets used by some of the other figures. Marvel! They will swivel forward approximately 90 degrees on the hinge. Though again, watch out for those belt pouches. They will also swivel in and out on a separate hinge, allowing the figure to do the splits. This combination seems to work very well, though some have noted the weakness of a gap in the upper thigh where the pelvis intersects with the legs if you splay them out too much. I am not sure what the problem is, as thigh gaps seem to be all the rage these days. There is a full upper thigh rotation. The figure will bend 90 degrees backwards at both knees. There is also a rotational joint where the boot meets the center of the shin. There are also ankle hinges which allow for a decent amount of swiveling, though there is no ankle tilt. All of these points of articulation combine to allow an impressive degree of posability for all of the figures in this set. As long as the owners exercise care and caution, there is no reason why you cannot get an excellent range of movie-style poses from these figures. Ripping off from Hasbro's successful Build-A-Figure gimmick, these Mattel figures each come with a piece of the No Ghosts logo which will glow in the dark. If you are so inclined as to collect the whole team, you will have the logo as a display piece to impress anyone you're dating or whatever. For size comparison, here is Ray Stantz next to Thundercat's Mum-Ra. Here is Ray Stantz next to Spectacular Spider-Man's Vulture. And here is Ray Stantz next to a can of corn. Pluses for the Ray Stantz figure include strong movie accuracy, clean paint, excellent articulation, and detailing. The only thing that would have made it better is LED lights for the proton pack. Minuses include a rather plastic-looking face, and several parts that look like they could wear out, snap, or break if the figure is handled too much. Still, if you are a fan of the real Ghostbusters and symmetrical figure stacking, then you should definitely snag your favorite team members for display. The Ray Stantz figure earns 8 out of 10 deaths. And the new movie is supposedly coming out soon. Will it be as popular? Only time will tell.
If you refuse me, honey, you lose me. Then you'll be left alone, oh baby. Tell them all and tell me I'm your own.